Welcome back to the Baltimore FlockCast, the number one Baltimore Ravens podcast in the world. Coming off of a huge Thursday night W against the Miami Dolphins. Things are on the up. Hey, what did I say? We string together a couple of W's. We're not playing the best teams, arguably, on the schedule. We can make a run here. And what's happening? We're going on a run, boys. But big news, we just made a trade. I know we didn't go crazy at the trade deadline like a lot of you guys wanted. I guess I'll really kind of touch into that now. I was going to wait, but who cares? I know a lot of people are upset because we had $13 million in cap room, and they really saw something big coming. Like, they thought we'd pull a big move like the Cowboys did because they got Quinnen Williams. Really, a lot of people thought Quinnen was our guy. I didn't think it was going to happen, but I thought it was a possibility. Am I upset about it? Not really. You got to be honest. Look at the value that the Cowboys got for Quinnen Williams. Could the Ravens offer anything like that? Of course we could have. But that would be incredibly stupid. They gave up a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and Mozzie Smith as well, I'm pretty sure. It's a lot. Quinnen's a great player, even wearing the Alabama hat. You know, obviously I'm a fan of Quinnen Williams, but I'm not giving all that up. That is it much. But don't be upset. We traded a fifth-round pick, and we got Dre'Mont Jones, or Dre'Mont. Apologize on the mispronunciation. So let's just go to it, straight to the drawing board. Dre'Mont is 6 foot, 280 pounds. He started as a defensive tackle, so I guess you could say he's more of a hybrid type guy, but I will say that with an asterisk because he did lose a lot of weight with the position change, but this was a few years ago. So this is the best year of his career. He has 4.5 sacks this year, and I want you guys to note that that's in 4 games played. Oh, and I want to cut myself off real quickly. He lost that weight in 2024. I said a few years ago. Time changes real different when you have a kid. 2024 feels like 8 years ago to me at this point. But yeah, so he is on pace to have one of the best seasons of his career by far. According to PFF, he comes in as our best edge with, or if we're just going off of pass rush win rates, not even PFF. You can check that anywhere. I'm excited for it. I know a lot of people aren't super thrilled because it's not a huge name, I'll be honest. Wasn't really aware with his game until as of recent because he's been exploding recently. And being on a bad team too, I feel like you got to note that, coming from the Titans. But either way, not Quinnen Williams, but I'm very excited. This guy comes in. I know we're having Mike Green on his come up. I'm a huge Mike Green guy, as you guys have heard all year. But having someone that can help out Mike Green here, help out this really iffy edge rush group and our defense in general. This is huge. Big fan. Welcome to the flock, Dre'Mont. Oh, and I also posted today, he's wearing number 41. He had his first practice, and this is being recorded on Wednesday. So I'm really excited about Dre'Mont. Would I have liked to give up more at the deadline? Let's touch on that. Of course. Obviously, don't want to give up as much as the Jets did for Quinnen. Or I'm sorry, the Cowboys did for Quinnen, excuse me. I feel like we're at a spot in the season, really just in the franchise, where we are right now. It's kind of a moment where, you know, I don't want to put pressure on the team and say this, but let's be honest, you know. If we don't win a Super Bowl this year, a lot of people are going to be very upset and a lot of questions are going to be asked. And I don't think we're going to have the answers to these questions. As you guys know, I love John Harbaugh. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. But let's say we lose in the divisional round this year or we don't even make the playoffs. I don't think ownership will sit by and just be idle. The fan base will ignite into flames, so they're going to have to make drastic moves and drastic decisions. Going off that, I would expect us to flip a first round pick, do something huge. I did see a comment from EDC saying we didn't want to trade, or maybe it wasn't a comment, but it was something leaked out, whatever. He didn't want to trade our first round pick because it has the potential to be a high first round pick, like one of the early picks in the draft, due to our current record. Yes, that is true. But if we're thinking that we're going to go on a run here, which we are, let's be honest, that pick's not going to be a high pick. The only way that pick, the only way that pick is going to be an early pick is if Lamar gets hurt again. By God, we all hope that doesn't happen. So I don't really know if I agree with this decision here. I know we absolutely kill it every year on the draft. We're a team that loves to keep draft picks, but I don't know. A couple years ago, we made that big trade to get Roquan. I thought this year would be a year where we trade a first round pick, especially with $13 million in cap space. But I was wrong. I don't love to criticize the Ravens, but I feel like we dropped the ball here. Dre'Mont, don't get me wrong, huge acquisition. Really excited to get you, especially for only a fifth round pick. But man, questionable decisions from the front office here. I say this also, what if there just wasn't a deal to be made because you had the Cowboys that just bid themselves into oblivion? Maybe they called up the Raiders and asked about Max Crosby, and they're like, hey, give us 4 first round picks or something stupid because Dallas just made a big oopsie and destroyed the market. So maybe we could be devil's advocate and say that was the case, that quite possibly we couldn't get a deal done because people were talking about what Jerry was offering. And then ultimately, when the deal came public, they're saying, hey, Jerry Jones is giving that out. Well, you guys need to pay a lot too. Price was raised up. Like when Lamar was getting extended and Deshaun signed that deal, price went up. It's unfortunate. Regardless, welcome to the flock, Dre'Mont. And Lamar got AFC Offensive Player of the Week with his 4 touchdowns. Absolute masterclass in his comeback performance. Excuse me. I said that Lamar would be most likely a little bit rusty when he came back, but it was going to be exciting, and I expected Lamar to be Lamar. And I think I do remember saying on here vividly that I expected a Jackson 5 from him. We only got 4 touchdowns. It was almost a Jackson 5. But great stuff from the former MVP. I think expect the same next week, or this Sunday, I should say. So we are playing the Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings, we're playing in Minnesota. They're coming off of a win against the Lions, and they're really coming into their own because past few weeks, Carson Wentz was filling in for the injured J.J. McCarthy. Carson Wentz played through an injury on Thursday Night Football. We all watched it. He was out there like a sacrificial lamb. Dude pretty much died on the field, for lack of better words. And then fast forward to last week, R.I.P. Carson, man. They start JJ. JJ does all right. They beat the Lions. And here we are. So, with the amount of games that JJ's played in his career, I would argue that you could say he's mentally still a rookie. And going off of Ravens defenses statistically, just in the past, since we've really just existed in our entirety against rookie quarterbacks, we demolish them. That's really a stat for at home. I know we're on the road here, so it's a bit different, but I hope we come in at least with that mentality and we see him making a lot of mistakes. We see Kyle Hamilton running around like a madman. Hopefully we see some turnovers. I am a bit worried about, obviously, their receiving duo with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Don't forget about Hawkinson, too, back there. Good God. This defense has been really good recently, but this is a game where we're going to have to prove it. A lot of things we've been showing recently, we're going to find out if, hey, this could have been a fluke. We're facing a really talented offense, so we're going to find out. I think the defense will step up. I'm excited. I know we're going to get gashed a little bit. Because let's be honest, you have Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson out there. They're going to make plays. You can't stop them on every single play. Yeah, winning on the road is tough, but we do know what a loss will do to this team. And I know that this team has that in the back of their heads. And also keep in mind Lamar's record against NFC teams as well. I know I said that before we played the Lions, but still, record stands for itself. I don't think this team's going to go into a game knowing the repercussions of a loss and lay an egg. We're a better team than the Vikings, and we're going to show that, for just being honest. I wrote down Andrew's resurgence until I actually looked at this stat line. He just had those 2 touchdowns, but it's only 3 catches. It's still good to see that Lamar was targeting Andrews and targeting him early. I think that we could see that continue over into this game against the Vikings here. I'm saying another touchdown for Andrews. Should be a good day for him. So we are only 2 games back from the Steelers. I think this is another win. We keep up the speed. Sorry, there's like a frog in my throat. My prediction here. I didn't write it down because I wanted to say it live. I'm going to go with, this is kind of big. I say we only had 28 last week. It's crazy I'm saying only. But that's with coming off of shaking off the rust with Lamar, a short week. This week, I'm going to go 37-23 against the Minnesota Vikings. It's going to be a great, exciting game. The boys are back. Let's check this out as well before I get off here. I should have had this prepped, but it's okay. Who do the Steelers play this week? Okay, the phone is not working. But regardless, if the Steelers lose this week, we're only 1 game away. Gotta love it. My girlfriend's phone is terrible. I'm using my own to record, so there's nothing I can do there. Should have said fiance, but man, her phone should have been working. Gotcha. But yeah, 2 games back from Pittsburgh. If they drop one, we win here. That's absolutely huge. 37-23. You heard it here first. Thank you guys for coming on to the FlockCast. We'll see you next week. Like, subscribe, give 5 stars. Tell your grandma about it. We'll see you next time.